So let's do a little bit of practicing, figuring out, okay, what is my amplitude, what is the period, and then do these have any shifts? And the answer is there's no shifting happening here, there's no plus or minus anything. We'll deal with that tomorrow. Okay, so the amplitude, well, the amplitude just always lives right here up front. So the amplitude to this one is 3. Amplitude of this one is 3/2. So really what that means is, so if I had here's kind of the graph. See, that's perfect. Okay, so the amplitude is just going to take, and it's going to say, well, let's go here. So if I went 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, because there's no shift up or down. Basically, this is going to be as high as it gets, and this is going to be as low as it gets. 3 up, 3 down. This one would be 3/2. So that would be like 1.5. That would be as high as it goes. And that would be as low as it goes. So not perfect, but I'm almost always going to take a highlighter and put a line on the top, line on the bottom, just to kind of hold it all in so that I can see where it tops out, where it bottoms out. And that really helps me with my range. So my range here would be -3 to +3, because it doesn't go any lower than -3, doesn't go any higher than +3. And then my range on this second one would be -3/2 to +3/2. And it would include those, so they would be like square brackets. Okay, the period. The period of the mother function is always going to be 2 pi. But then you're always going to divide it by that b value. So the period of this one, when it says 2 theta, that actually makes it skinnier, because it can go 2 times as many times, like 2 times as many cycles in the original period. So the period of this is 1 pi. The period of this one is going to be 6 pi. How come? Well, the mother function is 2 pi. Then I divide it by 1/3. Well, dividing by 1/3 is in effect multiplying by 3/1. So that divided by 1/3 is actually multiplying by 3. So it's only going to get through 1/3 as much in the 2 pi. So you need 6 pi to make it all the way through. All right, so that's kind of how we find period and amplitude, and that's going to really help us as we start graphing things that are interesting. Okay, so this one says 4 times sine. Okay, so my amplitude is going to be 4, and then the period, do you see that there's nothing here, it's just a 1? So the period is going to be 2 pi. So here's going to be my thought process. I'm going to just grab a nice little line. I know that 4 is the highest it can be. So I'm just going to put in a line at 4 and then another line at -4. Then I'm going to think about, I'm just going to put in some nice little points. So I'm going to use a star because I can be fun like that, right? Create a pen. Okay, so my sine over here, your value of the sine at this point in time is 0. So sine always starts at 0 on the mother function at least. Okay, and then it's going to top out at pi/2. Then it's going to come, so it's going to come back down to 0 at pi, and then it's going to be way down at the bottom at 3 pi/2 and back to 0 at 2 pi. I can also go backwards because remember it oscillates. So really you can, like, where's it going to top out? Where's it going to go to 0? And then you just put in a nice curve from there. So I'm going to start up, down, up, down, up, and it kind of goes on and on forever and ever and ever. Okay, so that is just like how my sine graph is going to work. If you know the major things, you know that sine starts at 0 and then goes up first and down first. When you know the mother functions, then the rest become pretty quick. Ooh. Okay, so cosine. Well, there's nothing up front, so the amplitude on my cosine is going to be 1. So I'm just going to grab my little line and put it at 1. So this one is not going to go up as tall as that other one, and that's okay. The amplitude is 1. Okay, the period of the mother function is 2 pi, and then I divide it by the 1/2, which actually means the period is 4 pi. So take a moment to think about why that is, but mathematically that's just good math in dividing fractions. That's why we've been dividing fractions for years. Okay, so cosine does not start at 0. Cosine starts at the 1. So cosine starts high, and then when it gets to the top, the cosine value is 0. And it goes down and up. Oh man, but, yeah, can't do that. Wait. So I got to get rid of those because it's now gonna be, it's not gonna, like on the mother function, it would get back to 2 pi right here. It would get back to the top at 2 pi, but now that's not gonna happen. It's not gonna get back there until 4 pi, which is way the heck out here. So it's actually, like I have to go double wide. All right, so it would have, so it's gonna get back to 0 at pi, and it actually is only halfway through there, so I'm only halfway through the curve at 2 pi. So then I would be like way out here. But I can also go backwards and find it on the backwards way. Because from negative 2 pi to positive 2 pi, that's going to be 1, that's 4, so that's 1 whole time through. So I'm going to go, so the 1/2 made it way bigger. Somebody's knocking at my window. Okay, so that's just a quick 1 sine and 1 cosine graph. If you need more, I'll make some more videos for you.